Welcome back to another segment in the kitchen. I had a lot of requests for another cooking segment, so here we are. Let's cook up something. If you're enjoying these, please do hit like and subscribe. Today I'm going to be making frittatas, which are sort of an all-purpose meal. They're kind of like a quiche, but without the pastry crust, so a little healthier from that standpoint. And this recipe also says that after you have cooked it, you can cut it into slices and put it in individual containers, and then you could freeze it, you could reheat it, and you have lots of individual servings for whenever it suits your fancy. One of the first ingredients for this is an onion. So we're going to start off by chopping and then sauteing an onion. Also going to chop 2 cups of broccoli to add to this, and these will be added once the onions are translucent and starting to soften. Also calls for a cup of chopped ham. All right, this is getting just about right to add in the broccoli, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to add in salt and pepper. It doesn't specify how much, so figuring you can always add more after it is cooked. And I'm doing all this as the oven is preheating to 375 degrees. This is making its way into softening. And you can dice this onion up a lot more if you like. It does say diced onion, but in the interest of my eyes not watering all over the camera and time, and I actually kind of like chunks of onion, so I went ahead and left it just in chunks. Now, why this recipe? Interesting, I mentioned before that there was a point in time where I made decisions about changing my eating habits for health reasons. We all may experience the need to do that at different times, particularly as we get older and we deal with more things. What I didn't tell you before is my husband actually has a master's in nutrition, so he has always been just an amazing source of information when I want to understand more about health questions and things like that. He also started a website a number of years back called eSavvy Health. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about eSavvy Health. This is actually one of the recipes from that website. So eSavvy Health, what's eSavvy Health? On their website they say, eSavvy Health is a new way to be healthy. It's not a diet or exercise regime. It's not something you eat or drink or something you can wear. It's not even a website. eSavvy Health is a journey, your journey, if you wish, to greater health through greater understanding. And their mission, they said, is to help you push aside noise, confusion, half-truths, and misinformation about health, discover objective sources and facts, and develop the ability to confidently chart a course to a healthy life. So I'm going to share that website, esavvyhealth.com, in case you want to check out. They have information booklets and little mini courses you can do. But I found it very helpful to me because they actually used me as a guinea pig at times. My husband would say, I want you to read through this course or this booklet and see if it makes sense to you, because I am not a trained health person. Did not study a lot of science. I don't particularly enjoy reading complicated technical things about health. So I'm always, what's the easy answer? What do I need to do? I want it to be simple. And what I have found is that it needs to be sustainable. It can't be like a lot of diets where you go on the diet and you lose weight or whatever, and then you can't sustain it. It has to be a lifestyle. And that's really what he was seeking to do, was make information available to the average person like me. So he would have me read through these things, and if I was confused or something seemed a little too technical, then I would tell him. Or if I thought it should be worded differently because it didn't make sense to me, then so I was very happy to be an inspiration as they were creating the website and creating some of the content. So I think this is about ready. So then it says to turn off the heat and remove it from the heat, and then to add in the ham. Next thing, and that's sort of, we've set that aside, is we're going to take a bowl and we're going to crack 10 eggs. One of the reasons I like a recipe like this is it's pretty simple, and also you can customize it. I do that sometimes when I have done quiches. I will change out, sometimes I'll do all vegetables, sometimes I will add some sort of ham or sausage, different sorts of cheeses, different sorts of vegetables. So your favorite combination. So you can do the same thing here because it's predominantly an egg-based meal. So whatever you would like to add to your egg. I just thought I would start off doing it with the combination that the recipe calls for, and then when I make it again in the future, I can look at modifying it. Okay, we have our 10 eggs. Beating up the eggs. It says to whisk them. I'm just doing this. You're also supposed to add a half a cup of cream. So I'm doing that. Mix that in with it. All right, then when that's ready, we're going to combine them. It says that you can do the whole thing in an oven-safe pan, but I decided to do the onions and stuff just in a saucepan. So now I'm going to transfer those into the pan that I will put it in the oven in. Now it does say to coat the pan in olive oil. Okay, so I have combined all of that into my pan, and now I am going to pour the egg mixture over all of that. And then it says to mix all of the ingredients together, add a little more salt, which I'm doing. I'm going to go light on the salt because easier to add it after it's cooked than try and take it away. All right, and then we're going to top it with cheese. And it's basically 1 cup of cheese. It does not specify what kind of cheese. I went with a sort of a mix of Parmesan, Romano, and Asiago, a 3-cheese mix. But if you have a favorite, then you can use your favorite. Spread that. Looks pretty cool, huh? And then I am going to pop this into the oven. It says to cook that for 20 minutes or until the eggs are cooked through. So I'll see you in 20 minutes. And here we go, out of the oven. I'm going to let it cool and I'll see you in a while. Here we go, it is done and ready for the taste test. That's good. I recommend it. And I also love the fact that it only takes a little bit of time to prep and cook, so a fast meal option when you want something healthy in a hurry. And that's what I have for you for this segment in the kitchen on Behind the Scenes. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.